Welcome to Ask Yourself Why Not, the podcast where two friends read a lot of self-help books, listen to a lot of podcasts, and talk it out with each other and our community.
So we can all feel better in real life without the pressure to fix ourselves.
We're your hosts,
Shaye
and Jayla,
and we're really glad you're here.
What's up, Why Nighters?
What is up?
This is Jayla
And this is Shaye.
from the
Ask Yourself Why Not podcast.
The place you come where you stop asking yourself why.
And you start asking yourself, why not?
Yes, mindset munchie.
This is a mindset munchie, but before we get into it, we did want to mention that we are having Empower Fest 3.0 this year. It's going to be Saturday, almost said January, June 27th.
Yes, and it's at the same place, Waterfront Hall. And we're really excited. June 27th, a little bit later than usual. We usually have it in May, but just with schedules and everything. And actually, Waterfront Hall's pretty booked up in the spring. Good for them.
They're a great venue to have an event. It's nice and open. They've done a beautiful job renovating. There's so many great windows with natural light.
And actually, they're actually looking for a new food vendor too, because they had the wood-fired pizza and Avenue Eats. Wood-fired pizza that started out as a food truck is actually going back to the roots. They're going back to the food truck business. So that location is going to be available. So if you have, a dream or a business in the food industry and it would, work their model, which I think their model's pretty cool there. You just come in, order your food and just sit down. It's kind of almost like a up-leveled food court.
Right. Yeah. They'll have no problem getting good talent in there. It's a great vibe. I love the concept of being able to have the communal space, the communal bar, and then order what kind of food you want. Yes, we chose to have it back there again. Just the location is so great. I thought it flowed really well. They let us use their second and their third floors. And if you don't know, their second floors are two beautifully done Airbnb apartments. And so for Empower Fest, if you haven't been, we have experience stations and we also have vendors that you can shop. And the experience stations are all mini services. So last year in the apartment space, we had Anna from ARC Photography, and she did these empowerment headshots. She's coming back again. We've had facialists, massage therapists, tarot card readers, all different kinds of experiences that you can take advantage of that day. And that was kind of our whole point, was to showcase the talent.
And then let the guest really get to try little bits of services instead of having that full commitment of something that, may be a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll be putting ticket sales up here soon. We're working on finalizing our vendors and our experience stations, but very excited to share with you that Empower Fest is coming back June 27th.
Yes. And if you know a business or your business that would like to sponsor, we are accepting sponsorships as well. Get your business some recognition, maybe throw something in the swag bag, whatever you would like to participate in, we would be excited and welcoming.
Yes, for sure. So let's get into our mindset munchie. These are meant to be shorter episodes that Jayla and I like to share, and that's kind of fitting with our life right now.
And this topic.
Yeah, I feel like that first quarter of the year has been very fulfilling, I will say, extremely busy. And something that I know I personally have been coming back to is just finding a little more space in my day, knowing that I don't need more time in my day. You know how we always say to ourselves, I'm so busy, but just finding the pauses.
Yeah, creating more space just where you can,
For sure. So I have realized, Jayla and I have a friend who we met at the Beauty Boost, which probably was, 6 years ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I think she was at the first one we ever went to.
Yeah. Was that before we started our podcast or during?
It was during, because remember Paula and Olivia came on the podcast.
Yeah, they came on the podcast. So she had done a reading with me a couple years ago, and then I did another one with her at the beginning of the year. And she kept saying to me, soften. And she said that to me before. And I think before I didn't ask clarifying questions. I thought she meant like soften in my communication. So I clarified this last time. I was like, what do you mean soften? I was like, I think I am a pretty soft person. I'm not someone that communicates like in an aggressive manner. And she was like, no, what I mean is you do so much in your day because you can. You're a Capricorn queen, right? Like I can handle a lot in a day. And she was like, but just because you can handle a lot in your day doesn't mean that you need to do it all. And I thought that that really kind of gave me a concept that I've been thinking of more
Yeah.
lately.
So when she said soften, it was meaning,
She was meaning find more space in my
okay,
day.
or like create it.
Not necessarily create it, but just be more conscious of not taking on all of the things in the
Okay.
day.
So for an example, like maybe carpool with your kids,
Yeah.
someone going
Mhm.
there, but you're like, no, I can do it. I can do it. But instead, maybe welcoming that carpool.
Yeah, asking for help on those kinds of things. If the carpool's a great situation because our kids have friends and they're going in the same places. And maybe there's just a day where you are stretched thin, you can do it, but
Mm-hmm.
you just need to ask for help. That's a great example of that. Yeah. So being intentional. And for me, what that does is it just like helps your nervous system a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find the space, at least the way that I kind of interpret it, it doesn't mean you need to fill it with other productive things.
Yeah.
It's allowing yourself maybe to lay on the couch.
Yeah. It's like that. If you're not doing multiple things at once, you feel like you're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you can develop that. I think I've developed that.
Yeah. So allowing yourself to kind of just not do anything.
Yeah.
It's okay you didn't run your kids to the dance class or the soccer practice or whatever it is.
I think like freeing up space in your mind too is so important. I think I said important funny, but I listened to this podcast with Mel Robbins and I'm not done with it yet. But she said there is tons of studies on not necessarily like making to-do lists, but just putting things on paper because then it doesn't just live in your head.
Yeah.
So yes, to-do lists are good. It's good to journal, but even like little things that are driving you bonkers, like organizing your coat closet or taking a bag of donation clothes to whatever, like even just writing things on paper the night before, doing like a brain dump can really help have more space in your day, like
Yep.
in your brain. Because when you say space, I think of a lot of like head space. Because with me, I feel like my brain is just overload all the time. So even if I do sit on the couch, I'm not really allowing myself to just sit on the couch because my brain is just going crazy. So I maybe try that tip too, like when you're trying to soften, because like I said, like even if I physically do it, like I don't think my brain is softening.
Yeah, we started our year this year with an intention workshop. And one of the things we do in that is called a irritation list. And
Yeah.
it's similar to that. You don't have to do it one time a year, right? You can do it every day. I like that as well because honestly, my default in life, and I don't know if it's just the way that I was raised or my general personality is to push, see how much I can take on in a day. And there's only so many times you can do that before you start to crack, right? I'll start to get acid reflux. I won't sleep as well. I'll wake up at 2 a.m. with
I
this.
get like neck pain.
Yeah, cortisol wake ups, all that stuff. And I was actually talking to Rachel Goodman the other day. She's shout out to Rachel Goodman. She's one of our good friends, artist extraordinaire. But we were saying, I said to her, I was like, well, I'm starting to get acid reflux and the cortisol wake ups. I was like, it's a sign that my nervous system is in overdrive and I need to slow down. She goes, I used to judge myself for those things and think, what the heck is wrong with me? And now I look at it more introspectively, like, what's going on? What can I do to like help myself a little bit more? So I thought that was a good insight too.
We gotta know our bodies, but yeah, think of like creating more or softening more in your brain, like, even not being non-judgmental, and getting things out on paper. Because like I said, studies prove that if you put it on paper, it softens it. It doesn't just live in your head, just spinning.
Get it out, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily removing things from your life either, because we living in a time of our life where we're growing our careers, right? We're working on our family life at home. Our kids are very active and busy. It's not necessarily.
We want to do all these things.
Yeah, but it's like how tightly you're gripping to them. And that's kind of what I got from Chelsea's reading too. It's just because you can and you're holding on tight to what you can do in a day, because I don't know why. Let go of a little things and see how it makes you feel. So it's kind of it.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's our mindset munchie for the day.
Yes. So recap, just look where you can soften. Maybe, take take up that carpool offer, or what's another example?
Dinner's always a good one. If there's
Like
things at work,
takeout instead of like stressing over
yeah,
making food.
there's things at work that you can do and that you
And we're
do, delegate it. Can you give somebody else on your team
and
an
we're
opportunity?
we're huge supporters of paying for convenience
Mhm.
because it frees up time.
Yeah.
So if there's something that put your money where your pain is.
Yeah.
If there's something that is consistently just stressing you out and taking a chunk of your time, maybe hire someone to do it. I mean, we have jobs. We are hired to do what our expertise is. You can't be good at everything,
Yeah.
guys.
1,000%. And so I always kind of say this little mantra to myself. And it's just kind of like, maybe the goal isn't to do less, but it's just to feel a little bit better inside. And I think paying attention to the signs and symptoms in your life when you feel stressed. For me, it's like I said, that acid reflux, waking up, maybe it's being too reactive in my response. Those are good things for us to notice and go, okay, I'm doing too much, even though I can I pull back a little and create some space in my day so that I can feel better and just do nothing. Allow yourself to do nothing.
Yep.
So I guess our why not of the day is, why not create one
Why not
small
do
moment
nothing?
of space?
Just do nothing.
Yep. Why not create one small moment of space instead of trying to control the entire day? That's it.
Release the grip, baby.
Yep. This is
Ask yourself,
Why Not? Believe it to receive it, right, Jayla?